Hi everybody, it's Alyssa here, and today I wanted to bring you a video on things baristas love. So number one is gonna be grinding coffee. This was a huge favorite of mine just because I think coffee grounds smell amazing when they're freshly ground. And so working at Starbucks, especially when I was opening this past spring, the smell of like fresh ground coffee in the morning is just so, to me, it just smells like heaven. Like, I enjoy that smell so much. Number two is gonna be perfect foam on a drink. So a lot of the times with, say somebody orders a grande hot latte, when you can get perfect foam on the top of a drink, or you can do some sort of design in it, it's very gratifying. Number three is when customers are very understanding if there was some sort of barista misunderstanding or barista mix-up. When people are very understanding about it, we love that because it makes our day so much better if people aren't screaming at us, and especially when we can make it right. And we can sometimes offer just like a refund, and like there's a lot of things baristas are able to do if there is some sort of mistake made. Number four, this has to be probably one of my favorites, is when cute dogs come through the drive-thru. I'm always that person that I'm like, hey, to my coworker, and like tap them, and you're like, hey, there's a cute dog, just so you know. Number five is, just because we will get yelled at if we don't have them, is good drive-thru times. So ideally for my store, they wanted our drive-thru times under a minute, especially during peak hours, which was between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. They wanted our drive-thru times to be under 60 seconds. And when they were, it was great because everyone was happy. And I made our day easier because our managers weren't being like, get it down. Number six are when we have really smooth open and closes. So when people show up on time, everything just seems to run really well. Or when you're able to close and you do it like efficiently and you get out pretty much on time. Closing does take a lot longer to do than opening, obviously, because you have to clean everything, but a lot of the times you would not necessarily get out before your shift ended, per se, your schedule shift. So if your store closed at 9 and you were scheduled till 9:30, a lot of the times you'd be there till 9:45 or 10 to try to finish everything up, especially if it was just the barista and the shift manager on, because the shift has a lot of stuff to do once you officially close, with counting drawers and finishing everything for the day. One of my favorite things would be number 7, when people actually want to listen and take your advice when they're ordering a new drink. So I've had it multiple times where people come up and they are like, I have no idea what to order. And you can ask a lot of questions of, do you like just hot coffee? Do you like things sweeter? Do you like chocolatey things? Do you want something iced? Do you want something frozen? Do you want something hot? Like, there's just a lot of questions you can ask them to help get them in the right direction. And it's always super gratifying when they love the drink that you helped customize or pick out for them. Number 8 is free coffee and free tea. So I will make a separate video on sort of the benefits of being a barista at Starbucks, but it is very nice to get free coffee and free tea, especially while you're working. And it was always really nice for me opening. Once everything's settled and opened, was finally the time where you could just have a coffee or a latte or espresso or something to help wake you up a little bit more, to be a little bit more pleasant. So free coffee, free tea is really great. So number 9 would be when people love the new drinks that you set up for them. So sort of like number 7, I believe, when people actually take your advice on the drinks, whereas I can't stand still. When people love your drink and they'll come back and reorder it again, and that's sort of the gratifying thing of, say you help somebody pick out their drink on POS, and the next day they come in and they order the same thing, but now you're in bar and you get their drink and you get to hand it to them and they're like, thank you. And you're like, you took my advice. You actually enjoyed it. You weren't lying to me yesterday, because you actually ordered it again when I wasn't standing right there. It was great. That's one of my favorite things. Number 10 is when people will let you get creative. So that was one of my favorite things, not just necessarily helping people find new drinks or customizing new drinks, is when people would willingly let you get creative. So one of the big things would be personalizing sort of like a handcrafted beverage. So handcrafted beverages at Starbucks are things that are not brewed coffee, brewed tea, And so that covers all the realms of hot teas, iced teas, hot coffee, and iced coffee. So it's more of like the lattes or the, like there'd be many times where somebody would be like, I just got off of an overnight and I have to go to my other job and I need caffeine. And being able to sell somebody like a double shot, like a venti double shot on ice with like yada 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 in it would be great. And they'd try it and they'd be like, and you'd be like, so this has 5 shots of espresso in it. It's gonna wake you up. You wanted a little bit of sweetness. You also wanted your creamer. This is gonna be the drink for you. And just being able to get creative and being like cascara syrup in a drink that didn't necessarily have it, or being able to mix raspberry in with their tea and make it a little bit more like fruity. And there's just a lot of customizations that you can do to personalize a drink to somebody. And when customers freely let us do that for them and help them personalize a drink and let us get creative, it's probably one of the best things. So like I said in my other video for things baristas hate, which you guys should go watch if you haven't already, these are just my opinions, and I have talked to a couple of my coworkers, so we were able to come up with a little bit more in-depth lists. I am not saying that these are the thoughts of every single barista that is out there, but I did work at a Starbucks and I may go back there this fall. That's high possibility, but these are just my opinions, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and if you guys have any other suggestions for any other videos, please list them in the comments down below. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye everyone.